This podcast is for individuals who want to be transformed in their lives by listening to specific guests in the fields of faith, family, fitness, and freedom. As a teacher, life coach, husband, father, author, and founder of 40 Days of Deliverance, my intention with each podcast is to help you grow in these specific areas. Lastly, my hope is that you will begin to learn specific habits to introduce to your lifestyle so you can live a purposeful life that you feel fulfilled. I love you, and may the Lord bless you and keep you all the days of your life. Another order of business. I wrote a book called Freedom to Ascend, which is on sale now on Amazon.com. I will send a link in my show notes, so just click on it. It's a great price. It's a great read, so pick one up today. Another item of order, land. The Lord has given me a vision that I will be gifted land by some special soul, and this land will be used for deliverance camps to help people who are hurting and to help people come together as a family and friends and fellowship. So if you have land that you would love to donate for this cause, please go to the show notes, which I'll have my email, and just email me land. Another note, share this episode. This show is growing, and the only way it's going to grow faster is if you can do one thing. Share this episode with one friend or more. Also, if you haven't left a review, do that now as well. Just do it on your app you're listening to. Now, buckle up and enjoy this episode. Welcome to the John Gardina classroom, everyone. Today is all about the morning routine. So those of you who suffer from feeling like crap in the morning or just not at your best, well, having a morning routine is where you will win the day. But before you start the morning routine, it actually starts the night before. And what you have to do is try to get at least 7 hours of sleep. I mean, solid sleep of 7 hours. And that really restores your body, just like you charge your phone. That sleep is an essential part of making sure that you are rested, recovered, and ready to go. Because anyone knows if you had a bad night's sleep, that next day is terrible. So step one, get a good night's sleep. For me, waking up at the same time is critical. So I wake up between 4:30 and 5 a.m. every day, even on the weekends. And what this does, it allows me to have just that habit and routine of making sure I'm getting up at the same part of the day. So once I wake up out of bed, the first thing I do is I put my left and right foot down on the ground and I say the simple words, thank you. I'm just thanking God for allowing me to have another day on this earth. I immediately then look at my wife, who's still sleeping in bed, and I say thank you for her in my life. So I'm first giving recognition to God. I honor him and I'm serving him each day. And then I look to my wife and I always honor her for our family, for all that she does. And you may think this is like crazy, but it is amazing that doing this simple act of thank you goes a long way. So I go downstairs and the first thing I do is I get a glass of water. And then I take 3 pills. They're called Psyllium Husk, which is fiber, critical for my system. I don't know if you need more fiber in your diet. Most people actually do. We're very fiber deficient. So I would look into that for your health. So get a glass, and then I sit in the same seat in my living room. I turn the light on, and I pray. Doing this routine for, let's say, 8 years now, the prayer part has been the most prolific part of how I start my routine. For 8 years, I give my first fruits of my labor to God. And what I use is the YouVersion app, Bible app, and I've been using that for, I think, almost a year and a half now. And what that's done is given me structure. So every day on the Bible app, it gives you one verse, Then it goes into a part where someone speaks about the verse, and then there's some segments talking about it in deeper prayer. And what it allows me to do is it asks you questions about your life, about how your prayer life is, how your connection with God is, how are you serving others. And it's just a great way that takes probably 10 to maybe 15 minutes every day to where I get in the Word. Getting in the Word is so important. And I'm not saying you have to use the Bible app. What I did start off was the book called Jesus is Calling. And I don't know if you've heard of that before. Highly recommend it. Just written such a beautiful way for you to understand the Word of God. And I would get the version that actually has the verses embedded into it. There's a shorter version where it just has the reading, and then it tells you where to go in the Bible. I would actually buy the one that has the verses. So whatever your cup of tea is in regards to what Bible or app or devotional that you're using, I would just say that you need to use something to get grounded in your faith and that personal relationship with Christ. So that is how you win in the Spirit. So then after prayer, there's two things that I do before I get up. I have a vision statement that I say twice a day, once in the morning, which is at this time, and once at night. And basically, my vision statement is for what I want to happen in my life by 45 years old. And it's to make a certain amount of money by creating content and classes and books to get me to a transformed individual that all of us need to be. So without saying my vision statement every morning, I don't know where I'm going in life. So creating that vision statement is another key piece of telling yourself and affirming consciously and subconsciously of where you want to go and what your life is going to look like. So that's another key element in making sure that I'm starting my day off right. And after I do that, I always take a screenshot during my prayer time of a Bible verse. So then I will use that Bible verse. I will post it on my story on Instagram. It also goes on my story on Facebook. And the reason, there's always a why behind everything I do. And that reason is to make sure that I am spreading the good news. I am not, I don't feel bad. There's some people like, oh, why do you do that? And I've had people respond to me like, hey, don't share that with me. And I'm sorry, but I am who I am. And I'm going to adhere to my Father and the Master Shepherd. And I'm going to do what he asks, and that's to share the good news. So doing that is part of my fulfillment as an individual on my camping here on earth, as we all are. So it's just making me realize that I feel fulfilled by honoring God by sending a scripture every day. So after my prayer time, my post on social media, I'm very intentional every day about what my workout is going to be. It's either one day I ride the bike, the other days I'm either running, and one day I'm walking. So I have a very systematic of how I do it. The most important thing for you in your routine, though, is you have to sweat. And sweating is allowing those endorphins to be released and to make sure that you're getting the blood flow every morning. And I really believe, and those who I've talked to have said this to me too, is like when you're negotiating or trying to negotiate in the morning, if you should wake up and, oh man, I should work out or not, always go to the right question. How will I feel after the workout? And 99.9% of the time you say, I feel better. So if you're negotiating with yourself, like, oh, I should get like half an hour more sleep. Well, unless you went to bed like 2 or 3 in the morning, the answer is no. You don't need more sleep. You need to get your body moving, get the blood moving, start sweating, and get everything going in your body. All right. So whether it's a run, a walk, a bike, what have you, as long as I'm sweating, that's the objective. But what's one critical piece of doing this is some people, run without headphones or do their exercise without that. Well, I think it's very critical in my life is I continue prayer. So I will post this on here as well, but I have my morning prayers that I have on my podcast. I listen to that every morning. And one of the critical things in there is Psalm 91. It's a protection prayer. And every single day we are being attacked by the devil. It's spiritual warfare. And Psalm 91 allows me to have that assurance of God's protection for me and my family. Then after the St. Michael prayer, I stop and pause it, and I pray for every single specific person in my life, my neighbors, my friends, and I pray for them. So that is what I do for prayer time while sweat equity occurs. Another thing that I've done this year is I've been listening to the Catechism in a Year. It's by Father Michael Schmitz to learn more about my faith. So that's one of my habits that I've instilled, and I think I'm on day 241 of this year of doing the Catechism each day. So building in that into my sweating part of the day of working out has allowed me to grow and transform my mind, my spirit, and my body all at once. And I really believe that's setting the day the right way because I've already won. My body, again, I'm going to restate this. My body, my soul, and my spirit are restored every single morning before I leave the door. And if you just stop right now and think, in those three areas of your life, those three spheres, are you working on 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3, or maybe none of those before you leave your house? And then you wonder to yourself, why am I stressed? Why do I have no peace? Why do I have no joy? Why am I always rushing in the morning to get to work? It's because you haven't worked in those three areas. You don't have peace, you don't have fulfillment, and you're just going through life the same poor routine day after day. And then the worst part is, and I hope this isn't you who are listening to this, then you complain about your life, your spouse, your kids, the weather, your job, the employees you work with. Think about that. Is that you? And if that's you, the reason why all this is occurring is because you have a negative mindset. The negative mindset is there because you're not moving your body like it was designed to do it, which is, I said, work on your spirit, work on your soul, work on your body. And doing that early in the morning is critical. So if you're able to, and this is not part of this piece, is vitamin D. So if I know it's early in the morning for me in my time of running and working out, but on the way to work, so let me stop right here. So after I do my workout or run, go take a shower, get done by 6 a.m. and help my wife get the kids ready, and we're out the door by 6:30. The key point also is, this is based on all research, is vitamin D. So do not wear sunglasses unless it's blasting you in the sun or your eyes, but to get the vitamin D into your eyes. And the importance of that is the circadian rhythm that you need to fall asleep and have a peaceful rest every night. So if you're able to, make sure you're either outside getting those sunlight into your eyes early in the morning. The sooner the better. So me, the only time I can do that, the way my schedule is set up, is to my drive. And I'm blessed to be driving east every morning where the sun's rising. It's beautiful. I'm getting it without sunglasses now into my eyes. So I'm sleeping much better. So on my drive to work, and this is the last thing I'm going to say in regards to my routine, is I listen to podcasts. I listen to Ed Milet, Nick Bear. Those are two of my favorites. Bedros Keuilian. I listen to, Last in Line Leadership. I have Mr. Forrester's as well. So I think what we need to do is set up a good system of podcasts that we have that we know we're going to be lifelong learners from, and then not only learn the content, but also apply it in our lives. So going back from the top, it starts with the end in mind. So the night before, making sure you get ample sleep, waking up with gratitude and thanking God and for everything you have in your life, making sure you're hydrated, drinking at least 16 to 24 ounces of water every morning, and then going into prayer, going into your vision statement, getting ready for what you're going to accomplish in this life. So before I end here, I would just say this. You need to pause at the end of this episode. You need to actually reflect on what your morning routine is like. And if it's crap, change it. If it's good, it could be better. I've changed mine in the past, like I said, 8 years, and I've gotten better with it to what fits me. And every year I tweak it, I feel better and better every single day that I do this. Lastly, the 2 apps that I would recommend to make sure this occurs is I use an app called Habit Share. You can just download it on your phone. And what it does is it allows you to set up what habits you want. So let's just say you want to wake up at 6 a.m. Okay, well, put that in there. It'll ding your phone, and then you check it off. Green light, I did it. Red light or red X, I didn't. It's that simple. So put in a couple habits that you want to do for your morning routine on Habit Shares app. The second is I do highly recommend to use YouVersion, the Bible app, not only for the verses and the readings, but also the community where you can join devotionals with your friends. And it's really, really a great opportunity to connect as well. So I'm ending here. I just want to continue to say, I'm thinking of you. I know you're moving in the right direction. And if you're not, just check yourself before you wreck yourself in the path in which you're going. So blessings to you. I love you. And this class is dismissed.